What's up guys, and we're going to do another really quick video. This one should be pretty short, which is going to be static unit placement, so how to place scenery objects around the map basically. So we're going to do this in the Persian Gulf. We're going to start off doing it around an airfield and just placing random static vehicles, and then we'll show you how to do it on a carrier, so in the way that when the carrier's moving the static stuff still appears on the carrier, it doesn't fly off the side. So long and short is we're in a map and we're going to place our static objects. So the way we do that is we're going to come down to the static object tab and we're going to press on that. I'm going to select whatever we want, so I'm going to use a Harrier. I'm going to change the paint skin to a raw navy design, and this is the important bit. So basically where we click now is where it's going to start. So what we want to do is we want to try and place it somewhere where it looks kind of relevant if we're trying to make it, you know, a popular sort of populated airfield. So I'm going to place it into place number 23, and as you can see now we've got heading. If we move that at all, the aircraft turns around. So we're going to put that at 90 degrees. I'll put it relatively straight. We can just position him however we want to do. So if we tick the dead box, guess what it's going to appear as in the map? It's going to look like a dead aircraft. So I'll show you one of them. I'll copy and paste him. And we'll paste him down there. And this one will be dead, so we'll tick him as dead. And to give you an idea of the sort of things that we can actually place, so if we change him from a static object, we can change the country, so all different aircraft will appear for the different countries. Well, it doesn't have to be aircraft. We can put him as a piece of cargo, we can have ground vehicles, we can have dismounts, we can have boats, whatever the bloody hell we want really, structures, warehouses. As you can see, it's everything that you really see in the map. Depending on if you've got any add-on scenery like I have, you can scroll through all of that. But what we'll go for is we'll place... What you can see as well is, I'll show you that when we go to the water, but you can place things like oil rigs. But we can even do effects, so that will be a smoke marker or fire, or, you know. But, you know, the possibility, to be honest, is absolutely endless. So we'll place a couple of ground vehicles, we'll go for a warrior infantry fighting vehicle, we'll place him around the Harrier. That way we know he's there. We can offset him as well, we can place him wherever we want. We can go for a couple of dismounts. So generally speaking, vehicles are great using the static tool. So we can place, you know, we can place a helicopter down. Let's put a Apache longbow. Place him here, so it's all around the same place. We'll offset him somewhere different, so we'll put him facing north. So the way I normally do dismounts is I'll do that through a normal sort of group. So I'll place a group down. Let's select him as infantry. The drama with selecting it as UK is you only get the World War II stuff. So if I go as US infantry, put him as an infantry guy of an M4, place him down, place a couple of them dotted around. As long as we don't give them, like I've done there, a waypoint, they'll stay exactly where they were and we can just manoeuvre them around. So they'll effectively become static scenery. The only difference is obviously you run them over, if you shoot them they're going to die. But then again, so will the static scenery anyway, so it's not massive drama. And in the same way with the static stuff, we can offset them all so they're all looking in different directions, so we'll do that as well. Leave this guy where he was. Ooh, put another guy in there, let's grab him as well, let's police him up. So now what we're going to see is we'll see a live Harrier, warrior, load of dismounts, a dead Harrier and an Apache. And this goes to anything in the static liner scenery. You can just place whatever the bloody hell you want. So what we'll do is we'll quickly jump in and we'll have a look at that. Don't save it because we don't really need to. And then after that we'll then go on to placing things on an aircraft carrier, a moving aircraft carrier. Loads. So for this, if we want to scroll through the static stuff on the map, we just press the F12 key and that will scroll through, as you can see, we're already conveniently by the live group. So we've got a Harrier jump jet, warrior infantry fighting vehicle, load of dismounts. For some reason the dead guy's not showing up. And we've got our Apache. So as we can see there, that's our scenery. Really simple, easy to place, easy to manipulate however you'd like. So we'll quit out of that. We don't want to quit the desktop, we just want to quit. Back to the mission editor. For some reason he doesn't want to show as dead, so I'm going to change it to a helicopter just because I know I've done it with helicopters before. So we'll put it as a Chinook and we'll have him as dead. We'll go back to that one in a minute. So moving on to aircraft carriers. So first thing we want to do is we want to place our aircraft carrier that we can all land on. So we're going to use the Stennis. I'm just going to place him and a waypoint so he's on the move. Let's stick him at 20 knots. Okay, so this time it's pretty much the same thing. However, we'll go into our static scenery. We're going to select, we'll put US stuff down because that kind of makes more sense. First thing we'll go for is Seahawk. So we'll place him down. So this is a little bit different this time. So what we need to do is we need to link him to the ship that he's on. So what I'll quickly do is I'll name the Stennis so it makes it really, really easy. And we'll call it Stennis. So it needs to be the unit name. That's really what we're looking for. So now what we do is we link unit. So we link him to the Stennis. That way he won't fall off the side when it starts to move. Conveniently, you'll see he'll default to the middle of the Stennis and he'll be stowed away, much like you kind of expect if he's static on an aircraft carrier. So we can place him where we want. Okay, so we want to... Okay, so... Alright, so the reason he's not moving is because I haven't ticked offset fixation, so that basically means we can place him wherever we want around the carrier. So now he stays. So we'll place him just about there. We can place him in whatever sort of heading we want. That'll do perfectly, and he'll stay there on the carrier in that place up until the point where he either gets blown up, the carrier sinks, or you end the bloody mission. So what we'll do this time is we'll place another static object on the carrier, but this time we'll go for a couple of F-18s. Go for an F-18, we can use whatever skin we want once again. Go for a high visibility skin, why the hell not? And we're going to place him in the same way. So we'll place this guy near the front. So we want a link unit, Stennis, make sure offset fixation's ticked so he stays where we put him. We'll just place him, we'll place him on an elevator somewhere, and we can face him whatever way we want. That we can do when on the mission editor is we can use our mouse wheel, and that'll give us an idea of the heading we want. As you can see, it gives you a distance and a heading, so 308 for instance. So what you can do is you can go, okay, so I want to place him here, but I want to place him sort of facing this way, so then you get the heading straight away. Another thing we can do is we can copy and paste him. So if we copy and we paste, you'll see this time, when we grab him, his wings aren't stowed. Basically, if you leave him like they are now, they may or may not appear on the carrier. They may just disappear when it starts to move. So what I normally do is I reselect the link, and then you'll see the wings stow away, and that way it's linked to that unit again. So we can place him, put him next to his buddy. We'll copy and paste again. Once again, we'll relink to the Stennis to make sure it's done. What we'll do this time is we'll place this guy, just placing him all over the place. Only real thing to be aware of when placing stuff on the carrier is try not to get him in the way of the landing and, you know, the area where aircraft are going to spend their time. Another one, relink him to the Stennis, and we'll place him next to his buddy. So there we've got a couple of aircraft placed. They're not in the way of any landing aircraft. All the cats are free. Obviously you don't have to leave all the cat pods free. You can place a load of aircraft in this sort of area and a sort of bow. But like I say, all you're doing is limiting the amount of catapults your multiplayer characters or, you know, whoever wants to use the mission is going to actually logically be able to use. And that is the long and short of how we can place some static objects on the carrier. So now when we go into the mission, hopefully with the carrier moving, all of these aircraft are going to stay. So let's put that to the test. Again, we're not going to save it, we'll just get in and we'll double check on that dead aircraft as well when we do that. So we'll see if that dead aircraft appeared. It might just be the Harrier that doesn't have a proper dead model. So there we go, the Chinook's now shown up as dead. So there you go, if you want to put a dead aircraft, stay away from the Harrier. It doesn't seem to have a dead model in the static display, but the Chinook, as we can see, does. Okay, so what we can do now is we'll scroll through the F2, and in a minute we will make it to the Stennis. As we can see, the Stennis is slowly motoring along, however it's got all of our static object on there. So we can scroll through, we've got the F-18s, and all of the aircraft that we placed are nice and static, happy days, enjoying their time on the side of the deck. And it really, really is as simple as that, placing static objects. So once again, really, really quick video. We've looked at how to place objects, what sort of objects we can place, and basically that's it, yeah. How we can offset their fixation to the carrier and make it so they'll stay on the carrier when it moves. What we will do quickly is one last thing I'll show you, and that's how to place a static structure. So the shelf objects. So we've got gas platform or oil rig, and we'll just place an oil rig there, and we can just copy and paste it, change it to a gas rig so we can see the two. Place them next to each other. Much like anything, obviously we can still change the way they're orientated, but we'll leave back in, we'll show you those, and it really is as simple as that. The oil rigs can be quite nice for the helicopter pilots, giving them plenty of stuff to land on, giving them a little bit of a challenge. Same as a frigate, you can do the same thing. Okay, so there's one and there's two. So once again, thanks for watching. If there's anything you want to see in the future, please put a comment, please like and subscribe, and I'll keep making content until everyone's fed up with it. So thanks for that, guys. Stay safe and happy flying.